Welcome to the Urbanna Visitor Center and Museum, built in 1766 for the James Mills Scottish Factor Store. John Mitchell was born in 1711, right across the Rappahannock River where we are, and he and his wife opened a medical practice right here in Urbanna in 1734. Their home is in the area where our post office is now. His office was directly across the street next to the original county courthouse here in Middlesex and now the Women's Club. Library of Congress, Colonel Lawrence, who was the director of maps and documents, declared the Mitchell map the single most important map in American history. Mitchell drew the map with no training, no prior experience in map making, which would seem absurd until you knew Mitchell was a genius, a Renaissance man. He developed new knowledge in almost any area that he touched. A story about him is that he went up to Philadelphia one time, was going to spend the night and then come back to Urbanna. He was introduced on that trip to Benjamin Franklin. He and Benjamin Franklin got to talking, and Benjamin Franklin kept him in Philadelphia for 3 weeks talking about ideas and experiments for 2 years. He came here in 1734. After 12 years, that's when they went back to England. And during that time, he became a close friend with the Duke of Argyll, who was the king's botanist. Through that affiliation with the Duke of Argyll, he was introduced to George Montague Dunk. George Montague Dunk was the second Earl of Halifax. In 1748, he had just been elected president of the Board of Trade and Plantations for Great Britain, and his responsibilities included how to commercialize the colonies and how to protect them, especially from the French. Halifax said, "Great," when he was introduced to Mitchell, "I need a map. I cannot consistently make land grants, direct troop movements without a map of the area, knowing where things were. Can you draw me a map?" Mitchell sat down at the Library of London, being supported by the Earl of Halifax, given all the bits and pieces of maps that they had at the time, as well as ship's logs, journals that individuals had kept, letters that people had written back and forth describing the land and what it was like. And over a 2-year period, he produced the first map of the colonies. Halifax said, "Great, I see you can draw a map, but this one is too small and not enough detail for me to do what I need to do." He sat down again over 4 years, no supervision, no training, and with pen and ink, hand-produced the original manuscript copy of this map that we see today. Mitchell copyrighted the map in February of 1755. The engravers came out and engraved the map on 8 plates, printed them off on 8 pieces of rag paper that were then glued together to make the original size of the map. This map is the third impression, first edition of this map, printed off of the original plates. It is gorgeous, but it is also filled with a lot of details that Halifax needed to know. We invite you to come, see it for yourself. We can give talks for groups. It's something that we are really proud of.